Welcome to our channel Crime Loom, the place where true crime stories come alive. In 1977, a young woman named Colleen Stan set out on what she thought would be a simple trip from Oregon to California. She was just 20 years old, full of hope and excited to visit a friend for a birthday celebration. Hitchhiking was common then, and she had done it many times without worry. But on this day, the ride she accepted would change her life in a way she could never have imagined. A friendly-looking couple with a baby stopped to pick her up, and everything seemed safe. What happened next would trap her in one of the most shocking and unbelievable captivity stories in modern history. In 1977, Colleen Stan was a young woman living in Oregon. She was 20 years old, hopeful, and excited about life. She loved traveling, visiting friends, and seeing new places. On the morning of May 19th, she decided to hitchhike from her home in Eugene, Oregon, to Northern California for a friend's birthday. Hitchhiking was common at the time, and she had done it many times before without problems. She packed a small bag, said goodbye to her roommates, and stepped onto the road, imagining a fun weekend ahead. After a few rides, she eventually stood waiting near a road outside Red Bluff. As she looked around for the next car, a blue Dodge Colt with a man, a woman, and a baby pulled over. Seeing a woman and a baby inside made her feel more comfortable. Many hitchhikers at the time looked for these signs. They suggested the ride was safer. The driver, a man named Cameron Hooker, seemed polite. His wife, Janice, smiled at her. The baby was sleeping. Everything felt normal. Colleen climbed into the car and thanked them for stopping. They made small talk as they drove. Cameron asked where she was headed. Janice asked about her family. The baby's soft noises made the atmosphere seem peaceful. There was nothing to hint at the nightmare that was about to unfold as they continued driving. Colleen noticed a strange wooden box on the back seat earlier, but she didn't think much of it. She had no way of knowing that the box was designed specifically for restraining a person. The couple seemed calm and ordinary, but inside Cameron, something dark was growing stronger. He had been dreaming of capturing someone for years, and that day, he decided to act. After driving for a while, Cameron said he wanted to stop near a wooded area to stretch. He pulled off the road. The moment felt harmless, but as soon as Colleen relaxed, Cameron turned violent. He grabbed her, overpowered her, and forced the heavy wooden box over her head. It shut out all light and sound. The box was designed to keep her quiet and to stop her from seeing anything. When it closed around her, she felt the world disappear. Colleen was terrified, confused, and struggling to breathe. She had no idea what Cameron wanted or what was going to happen. She could hear muffled movement outside the box, but could not understand anything. The Hookers drove her to their home, and Colleen locked inside the box. Could only wait in darkness. When they arrived at the house in Red Bluff, Cameron took her inside to the basement. He hung her from the ceiling, tortured her, and then placed her inside another box, this one built like a coffin. It was small, dark, and hot. She could not stretch her legs or sit upright. That night, and many nights after, she lay trapped in that box, while the Hooker family lived their life above her. As days turned into weeks, Colleen realized she was not going home anytime soon. Cameron used extreme methods to break her spirit. He told her he belonged to a powerful secret organization that watched slaves. He said this organization would kill her, her family, and anyone she told if she ever tried to escape. Colleen believed him. The fear was stronger than chains. She became terrified of even thinking about running. Life became a routine of darkness and silence. Many days, she stayed inside the box for up to 23 hours. She would listen to footsteps, muffled voices, the sound of the baby crying, and the normal noises of a household. Meanwhile, she lay hidden beneath the bed in that wooden box. Unseen by anyone outside the family, Cameron sometimes let Colleen out of the box to clean, cook, or work in the yard. But even then, she was watched closely. He forced her to sign a fake contract that said she belonged to him. The paper meant nothing legally, but to Colleen, frightened and isolated. It made her believe she had no identity or freedom anymore. She slowly accepted the rules because the punishment for resisting was too frightening. Janice, Cameron's wife, played a complicated role. At first, she helped Cameron because she feared him too. She had been controlled by him for years. She believed that if Cameron had another woman, he would be less cruel to her. Over time, however, she began to understand the depth of the suffering Colleen was facing. At moments, she felt sympathy, but at other times she convinced herself she had to stay silent, even in the darkest moments. Colleen found ways to hold on to hope. She imagined her family, the trees in Oregon, and the smell of fresh air. She prayed in her mind, sang songs quietly, and counted seconds or breaths to keep her mind active. She tried to stay alive not just physically, but mentally. Shockingly, Cameron allowed Colleen to visit her family once. The visit came years into her captivity. He coached her carefully. He warned her that the organization was watching and that any hint of escape would lead to the death of her loved ones. When she arrived at her parents' home, she looked thin, pale, and tense, but she forced herself to smile. Her family sensed something was wrong, but did not know what it was. They had no reason to imagine the truth, and Colleen, terrified, did not dare to ask for help. She returned with Cameron, feeling more trapped than ever. As time passed, Cameron wanted even more control. He planned to build a larger underground dungeon to keep Colleen permanently. The idea frightened Janice, who realized that Cameron's desires were becoming more dangerous and unpredictable. Her fear increased as she saw Cameron's obsession grow stronger year after year. By 1984, Janice had reached her limit. After 7 years of watching Colleen suffer, she finally broke away from Cameron's control. She confessed the truth to Colleen. The secret organization Cameron talked about did not exist. It was a lie he invented to control her. Colleen was shocked, but Janice insisted. She encouraged her to leave, promising she would not be harmed. One day, Janice helped Colleen walk out of the house. Colleen trembled as she stepped into the sunlight. Every sound made her jump. She was certain someone was following her. She found a phone booth, called her father, and told him she was coming home. The moment was overwhelming. For the first time in years, she felt like she was returning to the world. After Colleen escaped, Janice went to the police. She revealed everything, including her own involvement. The police arrested Cameron Hooker, and the case shocked the entire country. Newspapers and television stations reported the horrifying details, the years in the box, the stories of torture and the psychological manipulation that kept Colleen silent. During the trial, Colleen showed extraordinary courage. She took the stand and described the years she spent in the wooden box, the fear she lived with, and the lies she believed. Her calm and honest testimony helped the jury understand how she survived and why she did not run earlier. People were amazed by her strength. Cameron Hooker was found guilty and sentenced to 104 years in prison. Many believed he was one of the most dangerous criminals ever to be caught in California. There were later discussions about parole, but the courts and the public strongly opposed his release. Colleen began the long process of rebuilding her life. Healing was not fast or easy. She struggled with memories, fear, and emotional scars. But she worked with therapists, found support in her family, and slowly regained confidence. She focused on helping others and used her story to warn people about manipulation and control. She wanted others to know that even when escape seems impossible, hope can survive. In time, Colleen became more private. She stopped doing interviews and stepped away from public life. She wanted peace of life without the shadow of what she had endured. She worked normal jobs, built friendships, and tried to live quietly. She became a symbol of survival, not because she wanted fame, but because her endurance was extraordinary. Her story was later told in documentaries, books, and television programs. Many people were moved by her calm, humble way of speaking about the past. She never dramatized her experience. She spoke simply, showing great strength in her gentleness. People admired her not only for surviving, but for choosing kindness and hope afterward. Colleen Stan's story remains one of the most powerful examples of human resilience. She lived through conditions that would break most people years in the dark. Years of fear, years of believing she had no control. Yet she survived and built a new life. Her experience continues to remind people that even in the darkest situations, the will to live, the will to hope, and the will to reclaim one's life can survive. Her journey shows how strong the human spirit can be. Even when trapped in a box, even when silenced, even when surrounded by fear, Colleen lived through a nightmare. But she did not let that nightmare define her future. She moved forward, step by step, until she found peace again. Her courage continues to inspire people around the world who face their own struggles, reminding them that survival is possible and that healing, though slow, can come. Colleen Stan's story remains a powerful reminder of how strong a person can be, even in the darkest moments. After 7 long years of fear, silence, and captivity, she found the courage to walk back into the world and rebuild her life. She chose hope instead of hate, and strength instead of fear. Her survival shows that even when everything seems impossible, a person's spirit can still endure. Today, her story continues to inspire people everywhere, reminding them that healing is possible and that no matter how dark the past may be, the future can still hold light. For watching more amazing videos like this, subscribe our channel Crime Loom.